Hi there everyone and welcome back to Tom Voyage. In today's episode we're going to be cooking a New York style pizza on the Ooni Volt 12. So what is a New York style pizza? Well, you guessed it, it originates from New York and it's a variation of the traditional Italian Neapolitan style pizza. They're the ones that you often see that come in like 22 inches, really big, and you buy it by the slice. Now usually they come in very simple kinds of flavors like just your basic margherita, pepperoni, chicken or mushroom. And rather than that wood-fired oven that we see from Neapolitan style pizzas, these are baked around 290 degrees centigrade in a gas-fired oven. Also, they're baked for longer, around 5 to 7 minutes, which gives a more chewy texture to the crust. So first off, I have my New York style pizza dough here. So let's start this video by telling you how we made this dough recipe. So this dough recipe will give you 6 230 gram dough balls, which is ideal for the Ooni Volt 12-inch oven. And it's nice and quick because it only takes around 10 hours to do. So first of all, we're going to weigh out 850 grams of flour. Next, we're going to take 525 grams of room temperature water, add 10 grams of sugar, and 3.5 grams of fresh yeast. Use 1.5 grams if you're using active dry yeast. Then mix all these ingredients together and let it stand for 2 minutes. Put your flour on the mixer and begin on a slow speed to mix the salt and flour. After 1 minute, slowly add the water, yeast and sugar mixture. So we're going to leave this mixing for around 7 to 8 minutes until the doughs come together in one ball. Next, remove the dough from the mixer onto a floured work surface. Divide it into 6 equal pieces and weigh out 230 gram dough balls. Next, we're going to lightly oil a container, put the dough ball inside, lightly push it down and make sure it's covered with an airtight seal. We're then going to leave our dough balls at room temperature for 2 hours and then put them in the fridge for another 7 to 8 hours. So after they've been in the fridge, make sure you take them out for about 40 minutes to an hour before you want to cook. This is because the dough needs to be at room temperature. So before we stretch our pizza, we want to make sure that our oven is up to temperature. Now with the Ooni Volt 12, it's very simple. You just turn it on here and then you can set the temperature using this middle dial to whichever we want. Now we mentioned before that these pizzas are often cooked around 290 degrees, so we're going to go with 300 degrees. So we'll just set it up to 300 there. The fan's going to kick in and it's going to give us an alert when it's ready. So the Volt 12 only does it in increments of 25, so we've got 250, 275 or 300, so that's the nearest to 290 degrees. So this oven will take about 10 to 15 minutes to come up to temperature, so let's check back in a little bit. So the chime on the oven has just gone off to let us know it's up to temperature, so it's time to make our pizza. So we're going to start out by putting a bit of this semolina onto our board. And then take one of our dough balls out of the containers. Right, so I was kind of hoping because we oiled these that it would just plop out onto here, but obviously didn't put enough oil on, so I'm going to have to use my dough scraper to coax it out a little bit. So we finally got our dough ball out, so we need to now stretch it into the shape around 12 inches to make our New York pizza. So this is where you'd usually see the pros spinning it round in the air, but I'm not at that level yet, so we'll just have to go with this. So we've got our pizza to around the shape we want it. So first we're going to start with some sauce. Next, we're going to add some cheese. This is a mozzarella and cheddar mix. And then to finish off, this is a little personal favourite of mine, a bit of oregano on there as well. Okay, bit of semolina on the peel. Shake off any excess of the semolina, and then let's go to the oven. So oven's up to temperature. Slide it straight in, and then we're going to set our timer for around 5 minutes. Now this will probably take 5 to 7 minutes, so after about 2.5 minutes I'm going to turn it round, and then after the full 5 minutes we'll take it out, see how it looks and see if it needs a couple of minutes longer. So we'll check back in 2.5 minutes. So we're at just after 2.5 minutes. It's looking good. We're going to give it a turn, put it back in for another 2.5 minutes. Oops. So that noise means our timer's done. It's been 5 minutes, so we'll press that in there and we'll take our pizza out. And wow, look at that. I love it when the cheese bubbles and goes all crispy and gets the burn bits on top. You can see here, because that was in for a longer time, unlike the Neapolitan pizza, you don't get that puffy crust, but it's a lot more hard and solid. That's because it can support more toppings like the way they have it in New York. So I'll just show you the base as well. You can see here, that's like a nice, solid, crispy base. Let's cut into this and we'll see how it tastes. So there's our pizza, looking lovely and smelling great, I might say. So because this is a New York style pizza, I'm going to cut it so we can try and get one huge slice like you see on the streets of New York. So here goes. We'll kind of cut down here and right across to this corner, and then from this side right down to there. Wow, look at this. So it's a nice base on there. We showed you the underneath before, but you can see that the idea behind this is it still can hold structure, but you can still fold it to eat the slice like you would in New York. That mixture of cheese is really good. The oregano on there tastes amazing, and it's got a lovely structure to it as well, which makes it nice and chewy. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give me a like and subscribe, and to get the full recipe you can check the description box below. If you've got any questions or comments, you can leave them down there, and if you wanted to buy one of these Ooni Volt 12s for yourself, the links are also in the description. It doesn't cost any more money, but it helps me out with a bit of commission so we can carry on making these kinds of videos in the future. Thanks so much for watching, and please join us next time for more pizza making videos.